This has been the most insane thing that I agreed to do, but here goes. I'm going to have to do this and swap the sheets, right? Because I don't have one of those teleprompters, but let's do it. Let's do this. Come on. I'm overdrawn again. What's up? There's no money in there. What the fuck is going on? Nothing in my account. My app says your account is running on fumes, man. No money is in there, the bills just keep coming down. But the payment is due and it keeps on no showing. My account isn't red, it's radioactive, man, glowing. Here we go again, silence on the radio. Crew is in pain, credit they're taking you. Banking on me, ignore, matter not caring for. My debit's going bouncing, all sirens blaring. I'm not some gangster, doesn't need a paycheck. I'm just a small business, struggling with tape. Grateful for what I have, doesn't say you take this. From my family, cash flows a number against promises again. Here we go again, silence on the radio. Crew is in pain, credit they have taken you. Banking on me, ignoring that they're not caring for. My debit's gone bouncing, all sirens blaring. Don't ask for no favours, respect is a bag. You earn some by paying in for withdrawal, my man. Not taking your hand to dip and right in my crib. Don't demand my respect, and my response will be glib. Here we go again, silence on the radio. Crew is in pain, credit they have taken you. Banking on me, ignoring that they're not caring for. My debit's going bouncing like all sirens blaring. Made it clear at the start, I'd be pro and legit. We'd be working together, and the gig was a hit. But when it comes to paying, you're laying a line, asking me just to cover and pay with my time. Here we go again, silence on the radio. Crew is in pain, credit they have taken you. Banking on me, ignoring that they're not caring for. My debit's going bouncing, all sirens blaring. A week is no problem, a month is quite good. But don't try a quarter anywhere in my hood. We're sick of your lying and cheating deceits. In terms of bad karma, you're collecting receipts. So I leave with a lesson and a word, dear client. The rate that you're paid isn't quite making the cut that you're taking, making me out of pocket isn't fair without warning. So cricket band manners need pain, just saying. It's a wedge that you're messing, take the thin end you hold. It's suppliers are hurting, they may not be alone. Employees getting shafted, treat people like shit. It's easy to scale it, the rest of us take the hit. Here we go again, silence on the radio. Crew is in pain, credit they have taken you. Banking on me, ignoring that they're not caring for. My debit's going bouncing, all sirens blaring. Need pain, just say backs and sweat, man. They're like really good. Me out of pocket isn't fair without warnings. Pay me today, or I'll burn down your office. Yeah, terms, man. Your terms are ass, man. Terms. Don't know what it is. It's just your terms. They really suck. I'm afraid there's just one thing. Your terms are absolutely fucking killing me. I think I ran out of breath about.
Fitness is about steps. Newbies taking your first step through the door.
Thank you for that ad break. Oh, awesome. Well, I got all the anger and frustration out about those clients. I think I'm really interested. What are your guys' experiences, right, from some of the laughter? This is obviously something that you've come up against. What are people kind of doing? You know, I get ridiculous stuff. O2's onboarding process took like about 3 sort of, sort of solar cycles over millions of years for me to get on board. And then they said, Ned, we still can't pay you. You have to send your invoice in by paper. Right? I have to put it in an envelope and post it to them, and then they'll process it. I can't send it electronically. So what are your guys' experiences? Are you having difficulties? Go on.
Yeah.
Share.
We once had a Zendesk support agreement with a large client, and we did a whole year support for them. And then we sent the bill after a year, and they sent it back because there was another consultant saying the process should be that when a task is being sent, it needs to be estimated, sent to a guy for approval, and then we can execute on the assignment. But we have just executed on everything that came in. So they said okay, a whole year's of work will not pay anything because you did not.
That's ridiculous. But somebody, you didn't just walk into their office and do the work because you thought they needed it, and your mind had gone, they need help. I'm going there, right? They asked you to do this shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on the contract law in that situation. One of the things that I find very useful is not signing contracts with people, but I create a little, it's like a human readable English document. I'll put a copy of it online somewhere, and it's kind of just, here's how we're going to do this, right? It's called terms of reference, and it says, like, this is what I'll do. I'll send you the paperwork, and then this is how we get paid, and how we do all the stuff, and this is how we'll have meetings. And it's a really nice way, in non-legal terms, of setting out the rules of engagement that you'll have for communicating over things. And it's also your opportunity to not say, oh, by the way, let's have the fucking conversation about money and invoicing. Everyone says, oh, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, and that's what happens the 3 months, right? So I think you give them a terms of reference, you are drawing their attention to and have provided with them your expectation of how things will go. So if they then argue that their expectation was completely different, then you can say, well, I did send you that information. It strengthens your case. And in English contract law, this stuff is implied, right? So having this stuff written down and sent to them saying, just hoping you agree to that, is enough to say, well, you should have objected to the agreement at the time it was sent to you, rather than when the gentleman wanted to be paid.
Fortunately, I was a student helper there, so it wasn't that big of an expense for the company. But but it was still terrible, like a whole year's of work not being paid for.
But surely, seriously, who does a year's worth of work without thinking to send an invoice? Seriously, I always send an invoice before I start the work.
I don't think I could wait that long.
Those are issues. So
there's small.
I mean, you were diving down a hole.
Anyone else got some stories? I think I've only had one client who never paid in the end. It took 13 months finally to get them to pay it. But in most cases, actually, having the terms of reference has really helped, because as soon as any sort of dispute stuff, that's really important, the clear communication. So I think up front, you should really try and always discuss and agree terms. People don't like to talk about money, they don't like to talk about invoicing. You can use euphemisms like, so when the work is finished, how will I send you the paperwork, or who will process the paperwork? You can also double check when you send the invoice in. You can say, am I sending this to the right person? Does it have all the right numbers on it? Can you check it? Make sure it's sent on. And I would appreciate if you can expedite this or whatever else. But try and figure out, don't just say, there's the invoice, and kind of hope they'll pay it. Just do some validation. Say to them, do you have any rough idea when that will be paid? Oh yeah, that should take about a month. Well, that's fine then. But if they say, oh, that'll be in the next payment run, which is next year, then you know you have a problem, and you can deal with it there and then, saying, it's not really going to be good enough. I'm going to burn down your office. You should also ask about your supplier onboarding. What sort of stuff will you need to get set up? Because obviously, if you can't invoice the buggers for 4 weeks because you're still doing supplier onboarding, you're not going to get paid for another month after that. Then what they've done is they've extended their period of credit with you to 2 months, right? So try and get the onboarding stuff sorted out and line that up with how you're going to do the paperwork. Just ignoring things or not being aware of them isn't a very good strategy. What if it's late? I've been talking to a few people this morning. Obviously, when you get to a critical point, then you can start to look at heavy measures. But I use a casual approach. Sometimes it's a genuine mistake. But if it happens a lot, I mean, the guy who dealt with that invoice that was 3 months late, I won't be working for him anymore. He said in the email, this is potentially destabilising the future relationship with one of our suppliers. And I was thinking, what future relationship were you fucking referring to? It's not one that I recognise. And also, client, where there's difficulty here with like finance or payment, there's bound to be other difficulties I've found. It's almost a sign that they don't give a shit about you, right? Or that you are there for an ulterior kind of purpose and they don't really care that much whether you get paid or not. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign in the relationship. It tells you something about how that person views your relationship. And as far as I'm concerned, it says that, right? Because I would not willfully or do things